Hey, Isabel, welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here.
Hello. I'm thrilled to be here. Thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Well, why don't we just start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a differentiation expert, which means that I help small business owners, brands, products, corporations differentiate themselves so that they become and stay the first, the best, or the only. So I have a company called Leap Zone Strategies. And we have our own retreat center here on Vancouver Island in Nanu's Bay, where I take small business owners out of their natural habitat, and there's reasons, strategic reasons as to why I do it that way. Bring them into our retreat center, obviously for an amazing experience. But truly, it's to help people really understand and own their genius.
I love that. So, how did you get started in this?
Oh, I've had many, many lives. I've had very different industries and different. My mom was a hairdresser. My dad was a radio talk show host and TV talk show host.
Cool.
And so that's my gift of gab, probably. But I did a lot of, first of all, I was a dancer, a professional dancer years ago, modern. And then, through an injury, isn't that amazing? The universe works in mysterious ways.
Tell me your story because I have one too. That's so funny. All right, keep going.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I was totally ready to be a professional dancer, went to a taping of a show, broke a leg, was in a cast for 6 months, could not walk for months and months and months. And then, wasn't able to really get back to the level of dance that I was an expert at. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, went into that was university years, and went into a new subject. Basically, it was set design and special effects for movies and for theater. There, found the love of my life at 18 years old. We're still together. It's been 27 years.
Amazing.
And never would have met this amazing soul had it not been for breaking a leg and have a bit of a course correction in the path.
Okay, so I had to share my story because I played volleyball in college, had an injury to my ribs, and because of that, I had to change courses, right? And I moved to Africa, where I ended up meeting my husband, and that was 8 years ago. So that's so funny.
It really is that. And then one thing after another, like once I did that, then I went to design. I've got a bachelor's degree in fine arts and graphic design, and then moved to Vancouver from Quebec. I'm from Quebec City. Moved to Vancouver because it's the Hollywood of Canada. And for the film industry, and I thought this is going to be epic, it's going to be fun, except that it's boring. Not Vancouver, but the film industry, when you start, it's unionized and you don't do what your expertise is. You basically serve coffee and do a whole bunch of things that are boring. Yeah. And I thought, I don't have the patience for this. So started our own branding agency. Okay. And then through the branding agency, grew the agency to be a coaching, strategy, retreat, and also branding agency. So we're basically coaches, marketers, and branders all under one roof.
Well, how awesome is that? I love it. Yeah. Okay. So talk to us about the biggest lesson that you've learned through all of that, through starting this massive, massive organization, or what would you call it?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a global organization, global business with a movement. So we started the movement, My Life, My Biz, My Way. I know that your audience, your members, your tribe is small business owners that are actually starting, right? So the key to be very strong in business is, and this was my aha moment, is consuming versus creating. A coach of mine said to me, Isabelle, first of all, he said, there are two pains in this life, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. And I thought, oh, right, I prefer the discipline, even though it's now as dancers or as athletes, discipline is part of our day-to-day, which has helped me tremendously. People who are massively successful and people who are less successful or not successful. The only difference is their level of certainty and their level of discipline.
Yep.
And when this coach said to me, you can live in consuming mode and in creating mode, and he didn't mean consuming as in buying things and creating as in Crayola crayons. He meant when you're in consuming mode, you're basically just going through life. You just want to get things done. You don't feel fulfilled. There's always something missing. You're productive, but there's always something missing. When you live in creating mode, there's something that happens that it's more joy, more time, more fulfillment. And as you start a business, it's going to be a lot of tasks, a lot of discipline, a lot of to-dos, a lot of testing, a lot of successes, but a lot of failures too.
Oh yeah.
And it's to go through this journey in having this curiosity that only comes from creating mode. Curiosity doesn't live in consuming mode. And it's depends how you move through. If you move through the door of confusion with curiosity, if you move through the mud with curiosity, life will be so much better and you'll be more productive, more efficient, and ultimately more profitable. So that was an aha moment for me, because I was operating very effective and I like to get things done. I don't like anything in my way, and I look like someone who's very patient to you? So I've had to learn to really live, because at the end of the day, when you get to the next goalpost, if there's no fulfillment in getting there, honestly, there'll never be fulfillment, because there'll always be the next goalpost,
For sure. You hit the goal, and then a lot of times people are like, that's it? Is that all there is? And they don't have that fulfillment part. That's huge. Tony Robbins talks about, what is it? The art of fulfillment, the art of, I'm trying to think of what
I forget.
I hear him talk about it.
But I know what you mean.
Exactly. He said if you don't have that fulfillment, you're going to end up disappointed. That's huge.
Yeah, totally. And one of the things that I teach, I have a program called Build to Rock. And it's an online program specifically designed for small business owners that are early, or small business owners that want to set themselves up for success, or that have set themselves up, but they're overwhelmed, overworked, and undervalued, and they don't know why. They're like, my God, I'm so good at what I do, but yet why is it that it's so difficult to get some traction and to get some fulfillment? So this Build to Rock program teaches not only how to set a brand up, but also how to set a business architecture that is based on creating versus consuming, so that you can set yourself up for success while having fun doing it your way. Because we start a business, certainly not to do it like everybody else, certainly not to be stuck in other people's mold or other people's way of doing things. We want to do it because we want to create more impact. We want to create more money generation for ourselves. But most of all, we want to do it our way.
Yes. Yeah. Having that freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Like, that's everything to me.
that is everything. And that's what I teach in the Build to Rock program.
I love it. Talk to us about branding a little bit, and what are some things newer entrepreneurs need to have set up to have a killer brand?
Yeah, you know what? Most people think that branding is a logo and a web page. And although a logo and a web page are important because they're visual triggers that instill trust or not, what's most important in branding is to be able to understand and to own what it is that you do. What is your genius? Why you do what you do? How you do it differently. So the key is to be able to differentiate yourself through specific key branding ingredients. For example, a brand promise and your X factor. Most people don't have a brand promise. Most people don't understand how they want to leave people feeling. The key about branding is understanding your mission, and it's not a mission statement. I don't care for mission statements. They don't work. They're boring and nobody remembers them. A mission is simply how you want to leave people feeling. And my brand stands for leaving people feeling on fire and unstoppable. That's it. 2 words, easy to remember. If you were to ask anyone in my organization, they would know. Not only would they know, but they operate their day-to-day tasks, the way they speak on the phone, the way they in email. It's all in the what's the word I'm looking for here? In the spirit of leaving people feeling on fire and unstoppable. And that's a mission. Then there's promise, which is your measurable accountability. Promise is a gap that actually gets fulfilled by the gap of what your clients need and want versus what your genius is and what you're very good at delivering. For example, for us, it's clarity, pivotal shifts, and momentum. I deliver that come rain or shine, hands behind my back, eyes closed. My entire team delivers that. The way we write emails, the way we do things, the way we decide to do something or not to do something, the way we decide to create program. It's all about delivering clarity, pivotal shifts, and momentum. And the gap, that happens to be what small business owners need the most. They need the most clarity, pivotal shifts, and momentum, right? So understanding the key ingredients of your brand, what your brand stands for, what you are willing and not willing to do to get from here to there. That is what dictates what your look and feel is going to be, not the other way around. And unfortunately, a lot of people get their knickers in a knot about their website and I built a 7-figure business without a website. I know there was no internet, there was no social media at the time. Yes, all those things are important, and I'm not saying that being online is not good or you shouldn't. Of course, you should be online. Having a website is basically having an employee talking for you while you're not there. Well, you gotta know what that employee, which is in your website for this case, you gotta know how to triage, how to communicate to your prospects and clients so that they want to choose you over anyone else who does what you do, regardless of price. And it takes a heck of a lot more than a good logo and a mobile-friendly web page to do that.
For sure. I always think of how do I want people to feel when they come to my website and when they are on my Facebook Live or they listen to my podcast. How do you think somebody who's brand new should start uncovering all those aspects of branding that are so important?
Well, I mean, not to toot my own horn here, but I mean, this is precisely what I teach in the Built to Rock program, right? So get yourself a mentor or someone who knows about, so there's a difference between a graphic designer and a brand builder.
Right.
A graphic designer doesn't, they will make whatever you say, whatever you stand for, they'll make it look good, which is an important role. A brand builder is like me, is someone who can really look under the hood of your genius, of who you are. Because when you're in the frame, you can't see the picture. You can't know these for you, Yep. I do this for a living and I have coaches to help me position myself because I'm in the frame. Therefore, I can't see the picture. Absolutely. So I created this program because I spoke at events and people said, my God, I feel like I can't afford your one-on-one process yet. But do you have anything else that could help me, walk me through? So I basically created this step-by-step with coaching that helps you create your entire brand foundation and helps you create the architecture of your brand and of your business to ensure that you get yourself set up properly. Failing being able to enroll in a program like Built to Rock or someone else's program, then the first exercise that I would recommend for people to do is to just put on a piece of paper all the words how they want to leave people feeling, and then to pick one or two. It can't be a sentence. It can't be cool, or, if you want to leave people feeling on fire or empowered or hell yeah, that's okay. It's not going to be plastered on your website. This is an internal thing that you got to know. Once you know how you want to leave people feeling, then you can attack the other key ingredients. And the next one to attack would probably be the brand promise, because it's a measurable accountability. And you got to do that. Take a piece of paper, split it in half, put on the left, maybe split it in 3 columns. First column, just put every shit storm that happens in your industry. Anything like things that don't work well, stigma, things that exist in your industry.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually the second column put all the things that your ideal client, not anybody, your ideal client want and need the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last column put everything that you're absolutely a genius at delivering. And look to see, I'm Rain Man for this stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually literally can see very quickly the gaps, and I'm able to nail these things really quickly. But that would be a way to get started.
I think that's a fabulous exercise. And anyone that's listening, you need to do it. Like, that is so cool. Love.
Right.
Okay. So you've been on TEDx. Tell us, how did you land that and what was your experience like?
Oh, TEDx is crazy.
Yeah.
How did I land that? I mean, the process is most people have to apply.
Yeah.
And it's a very lengthy process of potentially getting on the TEDx stage. I was very fortunate. I was asked 3 years in a row, said no 3 years in a row because I knew how difficult and how much of a task that was going to be. And to tell you the truth, I think I was chicken shit for a little while there. And then at some point I went, okay, you know what? Let's just get this done. Let's do it. I learned a lot. It's 7 months of hard work, lots of coaching, 32 versions of script. You got to learn this thing by heart.
Wow.
You got to learn it by heart to a point where it doesn't sound like it's learned by heart. My biggest fear on this planet in my entire life is to screw up in front of a big audience. Because I do speak and it stresses me out, even though it never shows. I look so comfortable on stage. And I do. It's the lead up to speaking that kills me.
Yeah.
And my biggest fear was to flop on a TEDx stage. I thought, universe, if there is a universe, please. If I'm to flub on stage, please make it that it's not TEDx.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold. First 5 minutes, it's not in the TEDx that you're probably going to share the TEDx link. It's not in that one. They've edited that out. But in the first 6 minutes, I literally lost complete memory of where I was at because I ad-libbed. I added one little line and I had no more triggers. I was like, oh, what comes after that? What happened was brilliant. This was a fantastic aha moment for me. I was on stage in front of 3,000 people in front of me, but hundreds of thousands online because that is a very big attended event online. And I owned it like there's no tomorrow. I literally looked at people and I went, I have no idea where this is going. They all thought it was in the script. And I'm like, no, I can tell from your face that you don't know what's happening right now. I have no idea where this is going. But I owned it and I played, I had fun with it. And eventually a friend of mine in the audience threw me the next line, got me back on track. And then I joked, I went off the red circle close to the audience and I went, I think it pays off to practice with friends. And then everybody laughed. And what that did is it allowed me to know that I can deal with any situation on stage or off stage. It gave me huge confidence and it got people to connect with me even more because I humanized the process of screwing up, and it was a brilliant flub for me. It did wonders for my career.
I love everything that you just said because you were afraid to do it. And it's when you do those things that make you uncomfortable that you grow the most.
Oh, totally. I kept saying that TEDx gave me stretch marks, but literally physical and emotional stretch marks.
So crazy. So you actually prepare for 7 months before you do it.
Oh yeah. It's many, many months of scripting. And then you have coaches. They assign you a couple coaches. I've hired a couple coaches to really help me deliver in a way that I was going to be happy of my delivery. I'm dyslexic. And so as a dyslexic person, learning, scripting, and memorizing is hell. So I set myself up for success for sure for this. And it was a lot of work and I was so happy. I'm so happy I did it. And I'm so happy it's behind me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's so cool.
And I would do another one. I'm asked a lot if I would do another one and I would do another one.
Yeah. Okay, that's so cool. I'll definitely put it in the show notes so people can check it out. Tell
Yeah, you
us
bet.
about your TV show.
TV show. It's called Leap TV, and you can. We'll put the link in below this episode. Leap TV is a free online TV show where I teach small business owners all the way to leadership teams how to build a brand that is worth bragging about, right? That is worth creating movements with, and how to create a brand that positions you as the first, the best, or the only.
Mm.
And it's fun. The bloopers are to die for because I'm
Oh.
crazy. It's entertaining. It's light, yet it's a massive. This should be. It should be a paid resource, and it's always been free, and I'm happy for it to be free. It's it's a great online show.
That is fabulous. Tell us about your entrepreneurial journey a little bit, and what are some of the biggest mistakes that you've made?
Biggest mistakes. At the very beginning, one of the biggest moment of genius that I had, which derived from a mistake, I lost $30,000 in a minute as a result of assuming, not having a clear process, and as a result of not knowing exactly what I stand for. Because it's easy when you don't stand for anything, you will stand for everything, right? So as soon as a client will request you to derive from something, if you don't have a clear stand, it'll be easy for you to derive and derail without knowing that you're derailing. So as a result of losing money as a result of that, I hired a coach in my first few years. In fact, in my first year of business, 25 years ago. Mm-hmm. Coaching wasn't popular. It was weird. It still is fairly quite an investment. But then, I mean, it was outrageous because it wasn't new. It wasn't, but I hired this coach. I stayed with this coach for about 15 years. It was epic. And in avoiding absolute massive mistakes along the way, one of them that I realized that I wasn't set up to work on my business ever. I was just busy delivering my genius to clients. Mm-hmm. And I learned that you gotta treat yourself like your own best client. If you want your business to thrive as much as the people that you're helping, you gotta actually give it attention. And an example that I use for that is, let's say, do you have one child or two?
One.
So let's say you were to let's say you were to make another human being. When you have the new human being, it's not like you can ignore the first one. You can't say, hey dude, you're 4 now. You can feed yourself. You can do this. I now need to put my energy over here.
Yeah.
The same thing. You have to learn as a small business owner, you have to learn to wear many hats, but you also have to learn that 1 or 2 of those hats have to be for you. Mm. So in my calendar, I pepper myself in there like I am a paid client. Mm-hmm. And what we do when it's a meeting for ourselves and a client phones, it's very easy for us to go, that was a meeting for me. I'll just bypass it and I'll put the client there. I don't do that. I literally treat myself like I'm a 6-figure client of mine. Mm-hmm. And if I don't treat a particular client a certain way, then I wouldn't treat myself that way as well. Mm-hmm. And that derived from a very expensive mistake that taught me that I need to give as much attention to my systems, my business, my way of functioning. So I have 1 full day per week that is dedicated in 2 chunks, that is dedicated to my team, my processes, and elevating my own business.
I love that.
It makes a world of difference.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you've had a business coach since the beginning. You still have one, you said?
Oh yeah, I have 4. I have 4 different ones.
4 business coaches.
Yeah, so I have one specifically for business and mindset.
Okay.
Then I have one specifically for online work, how to really convert better online, but also create more impact and just creating a better movement online.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a fitness coach. I have someone who keeps me healthy physically. And then I have a spiritual coach. So, I mean, to me, it's about being at my best and setting myself up so I can stay at my best. Because when I don't have a coach, a lot of people say, Isabelle, you're so good. You've got all of these things together. Why are you working with coaches? No, I have these things all together because I have coaches.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have a coach. Like that was the pivotal
Hands
point.
down. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay,
Cool.
so
Yeah.
cool. Tell us about your transition. So you built a seven-figure business offline. What made you decide to come online, and how did that, was it the same business that you brought online?
It's a derivative. How do you say that?
Derivative.
Derivation?
Derivative.
Derivative. Frenchy here doesn't know how to speak. It's an evolution. My first business, I sold it in 2006.
Okay.
I decided to take a year off. And then I knew, as a brand strategist and as a brand builder, I knew that it was going to be easier to cut ties with the initial business, take what I loved about it, restructure it, and add new components than dragging the old.
Mm-hmm.
And so although it's, I've added the component of a retreat here at Trailblazers, and I've added the component of coaching to what I was doing already. The transition to online for me was the desire to create more impact and to expand my reach.
Mm-hmm.
What I have to share and what I teach is revolutionary. It is simple and at the same time needs to be taught in a way that's going to stay for
Mm-hmm.
people to actually do it, right? It's one thing to know something, it's another thing to do it, right?
Right.
So for me, it was really also a leverage. I teach small business owners to leverage their time, leverage their genius.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was also a question of leverage. I can reach farther, I can reach more people, and I can leverage generating a revenue for myself while really doing what I love and leveraging time while doing that. So, I mean, to me, that was a win-win equation for sure.
All the way around. You have so much going on in so many different parts of your business. What does your team look like?
My team is rock star. I have an amazing team. It's a very small team by design. I had 20 employees in my early 20s, and I've tasted that, and I didn't really want to recreate that. So I have a business partner, Margarita. She's also my life partner. We've been together 27 years. So Margarita is half 50-50 partner with me. We have a rock star assistant and project manager. We have a small team of graphic designers that are working with us on project. Mm-hmm. So we keep them super busy, but they're not employees. Mm-hmm. We have here at Trailblazers at the retreat center, this is a 5.2 acre estate, equestrian estate. So we have a farm, we have horses. So we have a full-time employee at the barn. And then we have 2 full-time coaches that delivers the Leap Zone methodology. We are looking for other coaches. If there are coaches out there that would love to learn the Leap Zone methodology and become a rock star coach through Leap Zone, we're always looking for awesome people. So we've got some coaches, we've got creative people, we've got programmers, writers, but my core full-time team is myself, Margarita, the admin project manager, Casey, and the 2 coaches. So we're a small team. We also use Infusionsoft or leverage Infusionsoft as a software. Infusionsoft equals 5 employees right there. Okay. Without having the need for the 5 employees. So if you look on our website under team, you'll see that there's lots of people there, but not everybody is full-time and not everybody is an employee.
I love that. We have a small but mighty team too, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to have like this giant thing. I just want small. Keep it.
Yes,
keep it
small and intelligent and leverage. It makes sense. It's easier for us to pivot and to get more freedom, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the entire goal, right?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Well, what does it mean to you to make an impact?
What it means to me to make an impact, it means that people learn a better, faster, more profitable way of operating, that would mean that I would create more joy, more fulfillment, more ways in which people deliver their genius. And that to me makes a big difference. A lot of people say to me, oh my God, I've heard this in many different ways, but the way you explain it, Isabelle, I now get it to the point where it's in my DNA. Mm-hmm. And for me, when people know something, that's one thing. You see, my promise is clarity, pivotal shifts, and momentum. Momentum gets created by action. So to me, it's about reaching more people to give them, to simplify the way they function so that they can take action. When someone feels activated, that means they're going to do something. Mm-hmm. That means they're going to get better results, and they're going to be able to create something that is what they want. A lot of small business owners, they don't really know what they want, but they also get influenced by people who don't innovate and follow industry standards. You see, the thing is, you can't be the same and different at the same time. Mm-hmm. In order to be different, you got to take a stand, and you got to eat some shit sandwiches to be different. You know, I mean, if you're not pissing someone off anytime, you're not innovating. Mm-hmm. So I want people to innovate. I want people to go, this is my life. This is my biz. I'm going to do it my way. Mm-hmm. That to me is what I love, that I consider that having created an impact.
I love that. And for sure, something that I definitely teach is attracting and repelling. Like, you want to attract your people, and you're not going to be everyone's glass of champagne. So you got to repel the people who just don't get you.
Totally. In fact, it's a must. Branding is about dividing the room, right? It's the hell yeses, and it's the she's on crack. Well, good. I'd rather not spend time on you if you think I'm on crack. And through my Leap TV and through my programs, I might make you change your mind. That's what it's about, you know?
How do you think you create that attract and repel? Like put that personality out there? What are some of the ways that you do that?
Yeah, I am very directive. Mm-hmm. I also swear. I will swear on stage, and not every 2 words, but, you know, I communicate the way I communicate. Mm-hmm. I'm very directive. I'm not afraid to tell people what to do and how to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's not the cup of tea of everybody, right? Yeah. So for me, it's, if you're ready to be massively successful, whatever massive success looks and feels like to you, because it's different to everybody. If you're ready to really make an impact, if you're ready to do what you need to do to get what most people want but won't do anything about, then I say I'm your girl. And it's not going to be, I'm not the flavor, I'm not sweet. A lot of people say, oh, I should have taken the sugar-coated version. And I'm like, that was the sugar-coated version. Yeah. And I drive results. And my clients double, triple, quadruple their businesses while having fun. And that's what sets me apart. Also, what sets me apart is that I understand branding. I understand marketing. I'm a marketing branding expert, and I'm a coach. I'm a business coach. So as you work with us on all aspects of your business, rather than having someone for this and another team for this and another team for this that are all working in silos, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, it's an ecosystem that one doesn't really go without the other. And we're going to create results. And if you don't want it, or if you're not ready, then I'm not your gal, you know?
Yeah. Love that. You've accomplished so much already. What is next for you?
What is next for me? Well, we're in the process of creating a different type of leverage in Leap Zone, which is creating a certification program for coaches. So, right now, we've got coaches in this certification program that will allow me to not be needed at every step of the coaching process. And it will allow the Leap Zone methodology to create bigger reach, bigger ripple effect, right? So there's definitely that. And I'm working towards creating a brand new online program that will be the next level to my level built to rock. And that will be a game changer for people, for small business owners, online and offline. So I'm working on that.
Very exciting. Awesome. Well, tell us where we can connect with you.
Yeah, a couple places. For people who are interested in seeing what it would look like to work with us, leapzonestrategies.com/rise is our needs assessment. In order to get to me, you need to fill out a needs assessment. You can also look at Leap TV on our website as well. And I'm on Facebook. Try not to find me on social media. Isabelle Mercier Turcotte on Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, I'm on there. And I would love to share one video training that I recorded a little while back that has been pivotal for a lot of small business owners. It is called Brand from the Inside Out. Be the first, the best, or the only. And I'm going to give you the link to this. You can post it below this this interview. And I highly recommend. It's free, and it's going to change the way you understand branding, leverage branding, and the way you work.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I learned a ton, and I bet everyone's going to get so much value out of this. So thank you for that.
That's good. I'm totally happy. I'd be willing to come back anytime for different subjects or anything. It's been a total pleasure to meet you and be here and share with your community. I really look forward to seeing some of the comments that get posted. I'm known to respond to comments. So if your community have questions or things that they would like to run by me, I'm more than happy, assuming, of course, if it's a private group, assuming you add me to the group.
Sure, I can add you for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll put everything in the show notes, and thanks again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye.
Keep on rocking it on.